Another aspect I'd like to bring to your attention is that the connection between geography and language arts follows nicely this whole idea of the geographic inquiry model. So taking this novel as an example, we ask a geographic question. How did those great auks happen to be on LD Island? Where is LD Island? Why is it important? Why did they go there? Why did they swim such long distances to get there, to reach that island? And why did they swim long distances to reach Labrador and Greenland, or Iceland for that matter? So that's our geographic question, one of the many geographic questions that we can examine. Okay, we need to gather some geographic data about the migration of great auks, about their species range, about where these lands are, what kinds of ocean currents existed at different times of year to carry them these vast distances. So those are a couple of things that we would need to gather, right? We're gathering geographic data. And then we're analyzing that data. We're looking at bits of research. We're looking at maps. We're looking at charts. We're looking at data, additional novels, and so on, and or works of nonfiction. And we're also then examining and analyzing that data. And then we're presenting that data to others. We're communicating what we found. We're coming to some conclusions. And then we're also that also leads us to ask additional questions, additional geographic questions. And that in turn leads to gathering more data and analyzing the scientific method really played out in geographic terms. So that's the geographic inquiry model that fits very nicely into studies of novels like this. Lastly, I'd like to talk about, okay, this last part of the geographic inquiry model. This has to do with the action. Okay, so I've asked a geographic question, I've explored some data, I've analyzed that data, I've answered some of my questions, maybe not all, but some of my questions, and I'm presenting that data, that information to others. But what about that action item? So thinking about geography in terms of it's a rich body of content, it's a set of skills that are important, and it's also this perspective, a way of looking at the world, a holistic way that interconnects the atmosphere, the lithosphere, the hydrosphere, the anthrosphere, human impact and human influence, the biosphere. All kinds of different systems are interacting. And the geographic perspective is a way of looking at the world considering all of those things. It also considers things like scale and other things that we don't have time to get into right here. But it's the geographic perspective that informs the general student's education. And it makes that student more of a holistic thinker, more of a critical thinker about all kinds of things, a better decision maker in society. But what I want to draw your attention to is this idea of the action item at the end of the geographic inquiry process. Okay, so we've studied the great auk, for example. What I would hope that happens is, okay, these great auks went extinct. So what? Why does it matter? Who cares if species go extinct? Why does it matter to the planet? Why does it matter to people if species go extinct? Okay, could we have done anything about it? And if so, what? And then, by extension, what about nowadays? Do species go extinct nowadays? Absolutely. Some scientists claim that this is we have experienced in the last 100 years more species going extinct than in the previous thousands and thousands of years, maybe even millions of years. So, okay, so species go extinct. So what? What can we do about it? And then, what about me personally? Is there anything I can do about it? What about things that I wear? What about things that I eat? Ways to get to school and to work? My impact on the planet. Does that have anything to do with what species go extinct or not? And do those species have a voice through me? Can I speak up for those species? Can I raise awareness? So that's the action item, is how does it change my thinking? And then, is there anything I can do about it? And is there anything I should do about it? So, I'd like folks to think about that when they go through this geographic inquiry process. Make sure that action item, that so what, and therefore why does it matter, are in there.